walking tall. Some days I got no use for it all. Working hard, making less. Some days are bad, bad at best. Foolish notions.
There's something about driving through Cusseta, Georgia, that makes you slow down a little bit. Not because there's traffic, Lord knows there's not much of that, but because the town itself feels like it's moving at its own pace. You pass these old buildings downtown, the old storefronts, the churches that have been standing there longer than most of us have been alive. And you realize not everything has to be rushed. And I think a lot of us forget that. Cusseta's the kind of town you can drive through in a couple minutes if you're in a hurry. But if you slow down, really slow down, you realize there's a whole lot more here than a couple of roads and old buildings. It's quiet here. Not empty quiet, familiar quiet. The kind where you can hear tires roll across gravel from half a mile away. Where somebody waves at you even if they don't know your name. Out here, life doesn't move fast. And honestly, I think that's something a lot of people have forgotten how to appreciate. You look around Cusseta and you'll see old homes sitting beneath giant trees, porches that have probably heard 1,000 stories, little churches standing strong after generations, and roads that seem to lead nowhere until they suddenly lead somewhere important to somebody. You won't find skyscrapers or crowded streets. What you'll find is real life, working life. Most folks around here work hard. Long days and early mornings. Jobs that leave your hands sore and your back hurting by the end of the week. People around here know responsibility. They know what it means to provide, to show up even when they don't feel like it. To keep going because bills don't stop and life sure doesn't slow down for anybody. And the truth is, that's most of America, isn't it? And we spend so much of our lives working towards something, trying to get ahead, trying to stay afloat. And we tell ourselves, once I get through this week, I'll sit down and rest. Then it becomes next week, then next month, and before you know it, it's next year. And somewhere along the way, life starts turning into one big to-do list. I think towns like Cusseta remind us there's supposed to be more to life than that. Because when you slow down here, you start noticing things. A breeze through the trees, somebody sitting on a porch at sunset, old men talking outside a store like they've been having the same conversation for 30 years. Kids riding bikes without worrying about the time. Little moments that don't seem important until one day you realize those are the moments that life actually is. The older I get, the more I understand that. When you're young, life feels endless. You think there's always more time. More summers and more chances, more conversations. You don't really think about how quickly things change. Then one day you drive past a place you haven't seen in years and realize the people you remember there are gone. An old store closes down, a friend moves away, a parent gets older, You notice gray hair in the mirror. And little by little, time starts feeling different. Not scary exactly, it just gets real. That's something small towns have a way of teaching us. Time matters here. You can see it in the weathered wood and old homes and in the faces of people who've spent their lives working hard and carrying responsibilities most people never hear about. But even with all that, folks here still find ways to live. Not perfectly, not some movie version of life, but real life. They sit outside after work. They stop and talk to neighbors. They go fishing, they laugh, they rest when they can. And I think we all need that reminder now more than ever. Because somewhere along the way, a lot of us started believing that being busy means we're doing life right. Like being tired became some kind of badge of honor. But there's a difference between making a living and actually living. You can work every hour God gives you and still miss your own life happening. You can spend so much time chasing tomorrow that you never really experience today. And I know that's easier said than done. The responsibilities are real. People depend on us. Work has to get done. None of us can just disappear from life and sit on a porch forever. But I do think we owe ourselves small moments. A quiet drive, walk through town, dinner with your family without staring at the phone, watching a sunset instead of just rushing past it, just breathing for a minute. Because life moves fast whether we acknowledge it or not. And the truth is, none of us know how much time we actually have. That's why places like Cusseta matter. Not because they're flashy or famous, because they remind us of things we forget. That life doesn't have to be loud to matter. That success isn't always measured in money or status. That there's value in slowing down enough to appreciate where you are while you're there. Speaking of time, there's an old house up here I wanted to ask somebody about. I'm going to stop for a minute and talk with her because houses like that always make me wonder about the stories they've seen over the years. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Just this part right here was 1892.
1892.
1892. When the gentleman got married, we were the second owners to this house from 1892. He got married, and then he built this hut.
Oh, okay.
And then he built the building back there, and the kitchen was down the hallway that's right there on the first side of the street.
So he had the store, and then he had his house connected to the store. That was very convenient.
It was very nice.
When did he build? When was this? When was this house portion built?
This part was built in, I think, like 1996. I can't be exact on that because I just don't remember. So, but it was just a few years after this one was built, and he and had a family and started.
See, that's another thing I love about towns like this. Every old building has a story. Every person you meet knows something you don't. History here isn't locked away somewhere. It's sitting right out here in the open. And to tell you the truth, sometimes I think we need stories like that. And we need reminders that generations before us struggled too. They worked hard too. And worried about bills just like we do. They tried to balance survival with actually enjoying life. People have always carried burdens, but they also found ways to gather together, to laugh, to rest, to sit on front porches at the end of the day and just exist for a little while. Maybe that's what we've gotten away from. Maybe we become so connected to everything that we stop connecting to what's right in front of us. No, Cusseta doesn't try to impress you. It's just what it is. Honest, quiet, worn around the edges maybe, but it's real. And there's something comforting about that, because life itself is kind of worn in around the edges too. None of us have everything figured out. We all get tired. We all carry stress. Some people are fighting battles nobody else can see. Some are barely keeping their heads above water while pretending everything's okay. And that's why rest matters. Not laziness, and not giving up, just rest. A chance to reset your mind, to remember who you are outside of your job title or your responsibilities. To spend time with people you love before time quietly slips away. And the older I get, the more I realize memories are worth more than most of the things we chase. Nobody reaches the end of life wishing they worked more overtime. They wish they slowed down more, spent more time with family, took more chances, watched more sunsets, laughed harder, and loved deeper. And maybe that's the lesson hidden in little towns like Cusseta, Georgia. Life is happening right now, not someday, not when everything finally settles down, not after one more paycheck or one more promotion, but right now, in the quiet moments, in conversations with strangers, in old houses standing through time, in slow afternoons and tired evenings and peaceful little roads like these. Life's short, shorter every year it seems. So work hard, absolutely. Take care of your responsibilities. And be dependable. Be somebody others can count on. But don't forget to live too. Because one day, these ordinary moments we rush through now will be the things we miss the most. That's just about going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate it if you'd like, comment, and consider subscribing. Until next time, I'm Red. Keep exploring, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have a great day.